I'm Lynn Boyer, and you're listening to Community Catalysts, a podcast that supports each other through shared experience. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Community Catalyst. I'm your host, Lynn Boyer, Executive Director of Community Impact here at the YMCA of Greater Nashua, and I'm going to let my guest introduce herself today.
Hi, my name is Alicia Angove, and I am a Kinship Navigator at Waypoint in Nashua.
Great. Thank you. Welcome, Alicia. I'm so glad to have you here. And we're going to talk a little bit more about it in a second. But Waypoint is sort of a new partner of ours. We partnered, a long time ago on our resident camp up in Pennacook, Camp Spalding, many years ago. So we're really excited to be able to reinvigorate our partnership with you in a new way. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But first, tell us a little bit about Waypoint, what it is that the organization does, who you serve, where you're located.
Yeah, so Waypoint is a nonprofit organization. We have resource centers throughout the state. Through the resource centers, we have several different programs. Each program, well, we serve different needs, I guess. So general needs of people where we have activities like once a month we'll have, I think it's like an arts and craft activity, or sometimes we have play groups for kids. They have different programs. So we have like a Healthy Families America program where they work with pregnant moms up to through delivery and until the child is 3 years old. We have Kinship Navigation. So I work with programs, or I work with anybody who is a kinship, a grandfamily, a grandparent. They have different titles depending on where you're going. Essentially, for me, if you're raising a family member of some kind, you pretty much qualify for services that I offer. I offer one-on-one services. I offer group services, support groups. I have an array of different things that I do. We have some programs that if you get court ordered, you get in trouble, if you need some extra help, those types of things. We have runaway teen and youth type programs where we can help stabilize them depending on the situation and how much they're participating in the program. Sometimes, depending on those situations, there is some housing that can happen for the youth, not necessarily for just general homeless or underserved. So we have some programs that are based for high needs families that maybe don't qualify for state level type stuff. We're not the state, we're nonprofit. But they still could possibly use some help. So we pretty much have a program for every age. We do have a home care department as well. So birth to end of life, I guess. We have programs that cover every age.
Yeah, that's great. And do you serve all of the state of New Hampshire, or is there a specific area?
We serve all of New Hampshire through different resource facilities. So Waypoint has different facilities throughout the state. I think we have 4 major locations and we cover most of it. And then we do for certain other, if it's out of our catchment area, we also have collaboratives that we work with that we could say, hey, we know of these people over here. So if it's not Waypoint directly, but we know of somebody that's able to assist, we will connect with them.
Yeah, that's great.
Mm.
And where do you get your funding from?
So I don't have exact names for all of the funders. I guess that's above my level. But I know that we get state funding, I know we get federal funding, and I know we have private funders. So we can take funding from anywhere.
Great. Yeah, that's wonderful. So let's talk a little bit about our partnership. So this is something, like I said, it's been reinvigorated. So tell us what is exciting that's coming up at the Nashua Y.
So at the Nashua Y, I'm going to be starting September 16th at 12 o'clock. It's going to be starting out as a once a month program. I'm going to be doing the pasta program. So it's parenting a second time around, and it is a support group for families who are raising other family members. Originally, the curriculum that I start with came from a research project through Cornell. And essentially, I take whatever research that was found and I turn it into a conversation. The conversation that I turn it into helps people know they're not alone, helps people understand this is a complicated situation. And sometimes, depending on who you are, some of these conversations could make you have some feelings that sometimes we don't even want to admit that we're having, but they're there and it's normal and it's healthy. So we're a group that's going to be able to help you um, get what you need when other people don't really understand that type of a situation.
Yeah,
So
that's
that one's
great.
going to be starting again. So I have other groups as well. But this one is going to be starting from the beginning. So if you haven't already been exposed to some of the group work that I do, um, hopefully you'll be able to start and feel connected, feel
Yeah.
like you're heard, feel like you're
Yeah.
understood.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I was exposed to a different pasta group, but we were chatting earlier through, I think it was the Granite Y with the outside opportunity, and I just remember thinking like, what a wonderful group this is for
Mhm.
people. They were all so close. In
Mhm.
that group, it was mostly grandparents raising their grandchildren for various reasons. But the both the adults and the kids were really, really close, and the kids were all
Mhm.
different ages and for the grandparents, different circumstances. But it was just again, like you said, that feeling of not being alone, of understanding what each other is going through.
Mhm.
So I'm really excited that we have our own pasta program starting because I just thought that was a really great beneficial program. So that's wonderful. So what do you guys have anything exciting coming up at Waypoint that you want to share with us?
Oh my God. We have a lot. I don't know if I'm going to remember it all. Um, Immediately coming up, the next couple of things we have are um, there's a fall festival that we're going to be doing. That one's going to be located at the Nashua Y. We have vendors coming in. I honestly don't know all of the vendors that are coming in. I know me personally, I'm going to have a table there and I'm going to have some of my older group that I've been working with for a really long time, um, promoting basically the kinship world. And we are going to be taking, this has been a long time coming. We've had a stack of books that we were going to be donating to the Nashua Library, all surrounding different kinship, different facets of kinship. So we're going to be donating those. These books cover everything from, kids' social stories to informative books of, different levels. So there's that type of a thing. There's some social emotional tools that for adults to help work with their children. There's a couple of those types of books. Actually, no, I don't have it right there. I have a couple here. Um, we have some classes coming up. I know November. I actually teach a super dads, super kids class. So that one is 8 sessions in 4 weeks. We also teach positive solutions. We teach um, parenting a positive discipline way. Um, yeah, we have a few different forms of parenting supports that we do, different frameworks that we support. Um,
Do you have a
I
website
have,
that people can go to see what you have available?
yes, so
Okay.
that's at waypointnh dot, I think it's org.
Okay.
But I also have, and most of it ends up, the new people come in usually as my one-on-one clients. But I also have a very established support group that I've been running. It originally started as a pasta group. We still call it a pasta group, but we're kind of on a continuing the conversation.
Mm.
And in addition to the continuing the conversation, we've actually branched off, and I have an advocating group that's come out of that as well. So we're kind of serving a few different purposes here because we have some people that want to make some change, and then we have some people that just want to feel like they're connected and feel like they're supported. That one's been going since March of 24. So that one's pretty good. And then we're going to be starting this one.
Great. Yeah, that's wonderful. You guys do great work, and I'm really glad that we're continuing our partnership moving forward. Is there anything else that you want to share? Any one thing you want to share about Waypoint that you would want our audience to leave with?
I feel like one of the things that I would love people to understand about Waypoint is a lot of times people have had experiences in their life and maybe they've been negative experiences and they almost shy away from trying to get help. And we really are a non-judgmental organization that we're able to meet you where you're at. So if you need resources, we're able to get you resources. We are a resource to be able to help people. Um, and we really are there to try and help keep the family together. We do not try to create some of the stigma that some of these other families that I've dealt with have had. We really want to be able to have everybody be inclusive and be able to have the best experience they can to meet them where they're at, the way point, to help them figure out where they are going to go in their life now and how to get there.
Hmm. Yeah, that's great. I love that. I think I was just talking to someone earlier today that so many times people are afraid to ask for help, or they think they don't qualify for that help for
Mhm.
whatever reason or whatever those barriers are for them. But we all need help. We all need resources throughout our lives. So
Mhm.
that's great. Well, thank you so much, Alicia, for joining
Thank
us
you.
today. I
Thank you
really
for having me.
appreciate having you on. And to our audience, we'll see you next time. You can download Community Catalyst on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Castbox, and Spotify.